Every societal failure, we put it off on the cops to solve. Not enough mental health funding. Let the cop handle it.
This was nothing short of an assassination of a police officer.
Bad things happen to good people. Bad things happen to good police officers.
He was the police chief of Little River Academy. He loved that town, and the town loved him.
Proceed, do you need another unit?
Negative, not at this time.
Lee went on a road rage call.
Somebody pulled a gun out on somebody. And then a few minutes later, he had gone to that house. And at that time, I didn't think he needed any backup, but I decided to go anyway.
Hello, Police Chief Dixon, Little River. Can I talk to you outside, please? Yes, sir. You driving that little white pickup a while ago?
Yes, sir.
You pointed a gun in somebody's face a while ago?
He pulled up my driveway and threatened me. He tried to run over me twice. I grabbed my gun out of my console and I said, "You're trespassing."
What we're going to do is we're going to go to court and we're going to let a judge decide what's going on.
You go get you a warrant and do whatever you have to do. And you get off my property, too.
I don't have to get off your property.
Yes, sir, you do.
No, I don't. I'm here on official business. Now don't start this.
Mr. Reisner retreats into his home, shuts the door.
3801.
I need another unit, please.
Chief Dixon, one of the neighbors, saw him kicking Mr. Reisner's door in.
Damn it, my door. Now go.
The man greeted him at the door with a 12-gauge shotgun and shot him twice in the face.
Go. You're fixing to go to jail. Show me your hands.
He murdered my friend. He murdered a police officer. Cold-blooded, like a dog, murdered him. Shot him in the face with a shotgun. Point-blank range.
And he shot him again after he was down.
While he was down, yeah.
Bell County 911, where is your emergency?
Oh, yeah, I'm here at Little River Academy. Officer just tried to assault me and tried to come in my house.
Okay, and what's your address, sir?
He pointed the gun at me.
What's your address, sir?
He tried to shoot me, and I shot him back with a shotgun.
We were getting a call in that the officer was shot. We do have the EMS started.
When I got there, I could see Lee laying on the ground on the porch. I could see his feet, and I could see that man hovering above him.
Hey! Put your hands up! Put them up! Put them up! Do it now! You don't move! You understand me? Stay on the ground! Stay on the ground! You don't move! I'm gonna blow your head off! Got him? I got him.
And then after that, that's when we started rendering aid on Lee. It was horrible. It was a nightmare that I was experiencing, that I was wide awake, and there's things in my head that I never want to see again.
Wake up, Lee! Come on, man! Wake up, Lee! Come on, Lee! Wake up! I just got the phone with him. Take a break. Lee, wake up, man! Come on, Lee. Come on, man. Come on, man. I just talked to him on the phone, man. Please hurry, please hurry.
Where was he shot at?
In the face.
We were dealing with a devil. That was pure evil, man. That's a pure evil man.
We had significant concerns about Mr. Reisner's mental health issues.
We wound up scanning his brain, and we were able to show specific injuries.
So with that said, we also had concerns about Mr. Reisner's competency to stand trial.
Was the phone on speakerphone the entire time that all this transpired?
David said a police officer pulled up the house. David told me not to hang up, and he must have kept the phone near him because of what I could hear.
Get the hell off my property. You're fixing to go to jail. Show me your hand. Show me! You better come home quick, because I grabbed my shotgun and I shot him back.
I said, David, did you hit him? Is he hurt?
Yes, I shot him. He's laying here on the porch right now.
He's laying on the porch. And I said, oh my God.
We all have a lot of respect for police officers because police officers put their lives on the line for us every day. Mr. Reisner had done that for 20 years. Got all sorts of community awards for being an excellent police officer, was active in victims organizations and in a local church.
What happened when he was overseas?
Well, at first there were no problems. He went to Kosovo where he was a border guard and helped to train police officers on the border in Kosovo and really felt like he was doing a lot of good. And then he went to Iraq. Now, Iraq was a totally different situation.
There were several car bombs, but there were several bombings at the compound that they were in. And he was knocked unconscious several times.
We're looking at his MRI here. There are some areas that are really compromised, especially when it's related to aggression or violence.
How do you think his specific mental health issues impacted him right in that moment when he shot the police chief?
He was delusional, okay, he was angry, irritable, would be set off immediately by something that would have been just a benign or insignificant trigger. He, I will say, snapped.
Austin 911, do you need police, fire, or EMS?
We have an emergency at Walmart on Palmer. A cop, an officer has been shot. He's bleeding everywhere. It's just really bad.
It's with a heavy heart that I have to report that we've lost a police officer this morning. The suspect took a semi-automatic pistol out of his pocket, fired at point blank, striking Officer Padron in the chest and on his bulletproof vest, and another round struck Officer Padron in the neck area.
So when you guys split up about 4 months ago, what happened after that?
Just, I felt really bad. I felt really lonely.
What does the Xanax do for you?
It makes you really relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
And makes you lose a lot of memory. beautiful young daughters won't have a father to raise them. And that's a tragedy.
He gave his life, they gave their father, and we're going to do whatever it takes.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Brandon Daniel, guilty of the offense of capital murder.
That is the case many times. And if they are involved in a situation in which the police are called and that officer has no idea about this person's history or that they're experiencing a mental health crisis, a lot of times that puts the officer at an extreme disadvantage.
Don't bite your bite me, you're gonna don't do that. Going to jail. Relax. Hold on. Just calm down. So some community members said that they felt like the lady was a danger to herself or others.
We're here to help you because of all the reports we've gotten, okay?
I don't give a what kind of reports you got. This is somebody's loved one, and they want us to try to help them out. So one option is to go against their will, and the other option is try to get them to help voluntarily.
Chair calls a hearing for the Select Committee on Mental Health to order.
I'm the Executive Director of the Texas Municipal Police Association. Because, as you said, Representative, that's crisis intervention we're talking about. It's already a crisis by the time law enforcement gets involved. Training our officers in how to recognize people with mental disabilities and training our officers in what services are available out there, you know, to funnel those folks into. I think that's the best we can possibly do from a law enforcement perspective.
We're gonna take you to the doc, all right? So you can talk to somebody and try to figure it out. It's not a big deal. But if you're not coming with us, then we need to have you, all right?
40 hours is the ideal amount of time for training for de-escalation or that type of circumstance.
So it just becomes part of basic training?
It's a no-brainer.
It seemed like maybe he just felt like he could handle the situation, that it wasn't going to escalate.
That's just the kind of person that Lee was. He'd take care of it and go about your business.
From the officer's perspective, I would think I would like to know what people in my community might potentially be a threat.
Once you finally heard who it was, did something click?
Yes. Yeah, it all clicked. We were warned about him, about his antics.
You're a liar. Sit back in the car. You'll sit in the car, I'm going to take you to jail. You do what you got. Okay, turn around, put your hands behind your back.
Other officers come, they come to search the vehicle. Why did he even have a gun? Much less, why would he have mounted the gun to the inside of his trunk? Mr. Reisner was pulled over for not signaling at a stop sign.
Pull to the side of the road. Pull to the side of the road and get back in the car.
Definitely got bowed up and got crosswise, and frankly was being unreasonable in the situation.
The traffic laws say you will pull to the right side of the road and stop for an emergency vehicle. I pulled over. You are not. You were stopped in the middle of the lane and you're sitting here arguing with me. What is your problem? You do your job. Okay, I will do my job. I'm putting you in handcuffs. Because you're being irrational. I'm not being irrational. Yes, I got PTSD and a traumatic brain injury. I'm being as rational as I can.
Other officers come, they wind up putting him in the police car. They come to search the vehicle, pop open the trunk. This big, huge assault rifle is mounted on the inside of the trunk.
That's ours. What is this? Oh, that's an AK.
Knowing now what we do know about what wound up happening to Mr. Reisner, that's in hindsight very frightening to look at and see that, oh my gosh, this guy's running around with a gun.
Often past behavior predicts future behavior. With these calls, we were looking a lot at his mental state and how he evolved actually into someone who would kill a police officer in the line of duty.
Get the hell off my property. I'm not getting off your property. I'm fixing to come in there and haul your ass to jail. No, you're not. Yes, I am. I'm telling you to leave your own property. No, I'm not. I'm here on official business.
The problem in our situation is we've got an officer from Little River Academy who's a tiny little municipality outside of Temple and probably didn't have access to those records.
Show me your hands. Yes, I shot him. He's laying here on the porch right now.
He didn't know who he was going up against. With all the knowledge I know about the case, I'm pretty sure that didn't happen. So he just didn't know who he was dealing with. But if you don't know them, how are you supposed to know what their mental capacity is before?
Right now, officers can access criminal backgrounds, but maybe not always the mental health background.
There are probably some privacy issues that you have to keep in mind sharing information like that. It's something worth talking about.
There is a fine line between that, making sure you have the information you need and not overstepping privacy boundaries. And so you're going to have to find that right balance. I hope we are able to take some major strides on that pretty soon.
To this day, people still tell me, this is what your husband did for me. This was the kindness they showed me. This is how he impacted my life.
The trooper had stopped this vehicle because the driver was not wearing a safety belt. The trooper was in his car writing the ticket. The shooter got out of his car with an assault-style rifle.
There was no warning, there was no conversation. The man got out with a gun and proceeded to shoot.
Drop it! Put the weapon down! Put it down! Put the weapon down!
The bullet went through the windshield of the patrol car and hit our trooper in the head.
Little Robert William Vetter. He always has a smile on his face and eyes like his father.
To all officers, all stations, by my authority, Trooper Randy Vetter is 10-7, out of service, and 10-42.
The man that shot Randy was Melvin Hale.
How do you feel this morning, Mr. Hale? Oh, feeling all right.
Melvin Hale has looked forward to having his day in court, and so do we.
Melvin Hale had an interaction with a police officer and told that police officer, the next time I see a police officer, I'm going to kill that police officer. 17 years ago, how was that information disseminated? It was disseminated via fax machine and tacked to a bulletin board. Not information that was readily available in a patrol car.
guy the other day. He wouldn't stop for us, chased him for about 15 minutes. Mental health guy.
Roll down the window, get your hands up.
Felt bugs on him. He said people were following him, all this stuff.
Step out of the car with your hands up.
We now have entered him into Cops Inc., where if anybody else runs his tag, runs his license, they're going to know that he needs some mental health help.
And that would possibly protect an officer in the future also if they entered that name in there.
Correct, the officer and him.
What is the biggest challenge of getting Cops Inc. to more law enforcement agencies in Texas and across the country?
One of the biggest challenges is law enforcement set in its ways. You know, if it worked 20 years ago, well, by golly, it works today just fine. Sometimes red tape is a process. We make legislative moves to protect people all the time. The door is open. Now is the time to be making these moves.
Gorgeous, how are you?
Handsome, I'm great. How are you?
Woo-hoo, I'm doing great now. Well, how you doing?
When I met him, he kept saying he always wanted to be one. So the day before we got married, I put him in a police academy. And when he graduated, I was his first supervisor. It's what I've been doing for 25 years. And Lee would be upset if I just quit because of him.